They tried to erase the signal. They pulled the plug, demonetized, censored, shadow banned. That's what they did to us. But the truth, my friend, will always find the frequency. I call this Operation Airwave Liberation because I'm not just back, I'm broadcasting from ruined. But this time, the airwaves is mine. And this time, it's uncensored. I watched them strip everything that we built. No warning, no explanation, silence, just taking everything away. 300 plus videos, deleted, all gone. And if you think this is about community guidelines, you've not been paying attention. This is a war. This is a digital gulag dressed in a terms of service type of way. They want us gone because we're saying things that they don't like. Maybe we're asking questions because we're curious, they don't like the questions we're asking. Or maybe we refuse to play nice in this echo chamber that we're in. They first hit me with the algorithm, the video is not getting enough views. Then they hit me with the monetization, well, no money for you. But guess what? They forgot to hit my will. They thought that'll be enough, it's gonna cave and it's gonna run away. But guess what I did? I rebuilt, I rewired, I learned the game behind the curtains and see how they operate. I'm not just back. We're launching Operation Airwave Liberation. No filters, no masters, just signals. The signal they tried to block, but this time is very strong. The wind can't even penetrate through this. This, my friend, isn't just about me. It's about all of us. Every single voice that's been cancelled, clipped and used in the wrong way by the media. From now on moving forward, I'm not just creating content anymore. I'm sorry. I'm building a resistance on camera, off grid and above the algorithm. And if you are watching this, you are the resistance. This channel isn't just a platform. This is a broadcast tower for the truth. I'm glad I'm back. Ladies and gentlemen, patriots, truth seekers, digital warriors, welcome back to the show. Yeah, it's very dangerous to come out here and do these shows exposing these guys. It's very dangerous. You can get your deal kicked in now. You can be arrested for inaccurate communicating. Yeah, it's a new thing now. Yes, it's a new thing now. You could be, I don't know, you can be discarded and thrown somewhere for the dogs. They can assassinate you now, character, and to the point where they can actually get, deadly with it, as we've seen with Charlie Kirk and other people who have been jailed, Peter Lynch. It's very dangerous to come and talk now. But I believe the nation needs to know. I think it's important for us to host these type of shows. Digging every day, finding information, and bringing it to the public. So, viewer discretion advised. We're not gonna walk on eggshell today for sure. We never do. That's why they tried to demonetize us. We fought them and we won. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it. Today, we're going to cover a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stories. We will cover a lot of good stories. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, first of all. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There's a challenge going on that I'm not going to get a haircut until we hit 100k subscribers. Man, are you looking at my hair right now? Yeah, I know, right? We need to get a haircut. So please, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and make sure you subscribe. That is important. But here's the story we're going to cover today. Tower Hamlet. Ooh. You're probably thinking, what do you mean by Tower Hamlet? Yeah. Fraud. We're going to cover that.
Tower Hamlet fraud. I'm gonna cover that. There's a lot of fraud everywhere. We talked about Sadiq Khan last live. It was insane. Where they're asking for more funding, they get the money, and then they forget where they put the money. It's like, bro, what do you mean you don't know where you're putting the money? You literally just asked for it. We literally just gave you the money. How can it just disappear? So that's London. Now, it seemed like Tower Hamlet has followed the job, as obviously a lot of mayors, a lot of councillors are doing exactly the same thing. So Tower Hamlet fraud, we're going to expose it here to you live. We're going to tell you how much they get. We're going to tell you where they spend it. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the mayor of Tower Hamlet. He has a history. Yes, he does. And I think his history is quite scary given the situation that we're in right now. God. So we're going to talk about Tower Hamlet. We're going to talk about Shabana Mahmood. She's letting some guy in the country. This guy, I don't know why somebody would grant him a visa to come into the country, given what this guy does, given that this guy is publicly out there saying that it's okay to take a bomb and putting it into a person's house, or person is, maybe a church or maybe a little gathering. It's okay to do that. That's what this person is. And he's a preacher, and he's coming to London. He's coming to Manchester. He's going to Birmingham to preach. And that's why he preaches. So it's important we talk about that, because given how deadly it has been, looking at the situation in, Pondy Beach, Australia, given what they did in the synagogue in Manchester, it's important for us to talk about that and why we're letting people like these coming into the country. We already have too many of them. Somehow we're letting people come in to come preach to a young man who are potentially going to be doing such a thing. So that's a problem. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Sadiq Khan. Yes, we won't miss him. He's always out there. He's always out there giving speeches. He's always out there getting the mainstream media to write some pieces for him. And it's important I talk about it, because you might see the piece that they write about him, all good, because they want to. Do you know that when these politicians are elected, they never really care about you and myself. They never really do. They only care about us when the election cycle is back on again. And now Sadiq Khan is going out there trying to clean his reputation. And yeah, this piece is him trying to clean his reputation. So then you and I will forget all the crazy stuff he has done. So it's important we debunk that. So we're going to talk about Sadiq Khan. We're also going to talk about truck, a movement in Iran, super powerful movement. The revolution is taking place. I think in the next couple weeks from now, the Ayatollah, they'll be gone. The mullahs will be gone. But there was hundreds of people turned up in Los Angeles. Just like in London yesterday, hundreds, I think thousands of people turned up. But there was a truck in Los Angeles that drove into people. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm not sure if the mainstream media report about this. But I think it's important for me to show you what took place and how deadly that was. Man, multiple victims as well. And but they've not confirmed anyone who passed away. That's a good thing. But still, like, why would you drive into a crowd of protesters? Yeah, it's freaking insane. So we're going to talk about that. And obviously, we're going to talk about the Bulgarian migrant, the biggest fraudster in the country. Benefit fraudster, the biggest benefit fraudster in the country. She was jailed. She's out now. And guess what she's doing? Claiming benefits. She's the biggest benefit fraudster in the country. She was jailed. And now she's out claiming benefit. You can't make this shit up. So if we have enough time, we're going to talk about that. But I think it's important we talk about Tower Hamlet first. So let's talk about Tower Hamlet first. Or maybe I should report to you Tower Hamlet first. Oh, God. This is insane, folks. All right, folks. Buckle in. Viewer discretion advised. I think this is the time where YouTube is going to try silence us now. But yeah, I think it's important we tell you this story. So, Tower Hamlet. There's a guy out there. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. I'm not sure if you've seen him. But he goes by the name of Lutfa Rahman. Lutfar Rahman, yeah, he goes by the name of that. He's a big guy. He's been in politics for quite a while now. Before politics, they always do all these human rights stuff, right? Before politics, they always have this relationship, human rights stuff going on. They serve to help the people, or maybe they're lawyers. So he had a past similarly to Sadiq Khan. He came into power in what? He ran for the mayor of Tower Hamlet in 2010. And of course, he won. Yeah, don't tell me why. He won. All right. And in 2014, there was a case against him. Apparently, he committed fraud. Yeah, he committed fraud. In 2014, they find out, he went through the court, and the court ruled that he committed fraud, and they banned him from running for another mayoral election in Tower Hamlet. So he was banned for 5 years. So from 2014, the ban started in 2015. So from 2015 to 2020. Now, of course, obviously the ban was done. The ban obviously expired. Now I want to tell you why I want to tell you about the fraud, right? This is the fraud. The reason why he was banned for election fraud was because he had his people. Oh God, let me read you this thing. First of all, this is the reason why. Well, this is what the court found about him, that he was using council grants to influence vote. So while he was in power, he's using his council grants to influence vote. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff, right? So imagine, we give you the money. Hey, fix this. But you're using the money to get you back, to keep you in power. I mean, what the fuck? All right, that's one. Next one was false statement about the opponent. The judge found that he was misleading people by his claim about, obviously, his candidates, the opponents, his rivals. And obviously the last one, which is quite scary and which is becoming very prevalent in the country, he used spiritual influence to keep him in power. And let me try to break that down. Spiritual influence is when you have a mullah, an imam, in almost every single mosque, or all the segregation that goes on. An imam is telling the followers, the congregates, that it's their duty to vote for this guy. So he had spiritual influence where he told the people, the imam, to tell everybody in an area to vote for him. So of course, I mean, religion is a weapon. You can weaponize religion all the time. You can be like, hey, we have to support this group because Jesus says so. Hey, we have to do this because, God said this. But obviously in Islam, it's different. You can always make it up. You can be like, hey, we got to do this because obviously, Allah will grant you good stuff. And of course, for religious people, they'll be like, oh, I want good stuff. I want to be in a good book. I'm going to vote for him. And of course, that's not how we do it. So he was banned for 5 years for that. But here's the thing. Instantly after the ban, he came back into politics and instantly he won. God, I want the strength like his. I'm telling you. I want the influence like his. Imagine you being banned. You come back and you win. That's some Ronaldo stuff, bro. I'm telling you. But this is real. And I'm reading this from the court notes here. So he was banned for 5 years. So he's a fraudster. Yeah, he's been confirmed. But of course, this was a civil matter. It was not a criminal matter. That's why he was not jailed. When it's a civil matter, the law is kind of, it's not tough on you. You can get away with a lot of stuff. You might get banned or maybe you might get fined, but that's it. So he came back into politics and he won straight away. And obviously ever since, he's been in there for 3 terms now. I don't think we're going to take him out anytime soon. He's been there for 3 terms. But okay, I also need to tell you about what just came out today, right? So I just told you about his background, and he's the guy in charge of Tower Hamlet. So he's been convicted by, for fraud before, civil matter. And now his office, or maybe I should say his councils, are being investigated for fraud. The reason why I had to tell you his past, because this is important. It's important to know who the biggest guy of, who's the top guy, who's the one giving the money out to councils. Because obviously he's the mayor, right? He's the guy in charge of the whole pyramid scheme. And the council leaders are getting a little bit, and maybe they're getting to know stuff that they need to know about the, electorates, about their constituent, whatever. But his past is very important because this is what's going on right now. Right now, his councils are being investigated for fraud. Freaking fraud, folks. So I'm going to quickly read you this article, and then I'm going to show you how much money the government gives these guys and how much money they spend. It's like, I don't know about you, but if you ever run a business before, I don't know how much money you put into your business, but the way these guys get the money and then they just spend it, like they just spend on, bro. They put millions here, they put millions here. They're like, yeah, walking a dog, 2 million. Jumping around, yeah, 5 million for that. Like Sadiq, we found out that they are putting £1 million into wanted and love spaces. What is a wanted and love spaces? There's no such a thing as love, wanted and love spaces. But somehow we are investing million into that. And then when we ask them, hey, where's the money going? They don't know. Obviously, it's similar stuff here. Now, let me just quickly read you this article. This article was published in last year, December 17th, 2025. Police probe suspect fraud and money laundering by former council worker. Yeah, gets bad, folks. Allegation of suspect fraud and money laundering by a former employee of Tower Hamlet Council are being investigated by the police. Reports presents to council this month detail that relate to allegation impropriate procuring and approval of services and payments involving under declared conflict of interest. Whoa, yeah. So they approved payment involving undeclared conflict of interest. So what could it be? Could it be that the money went to his dad? Could it be that the money went to his sister? Could it be that the money was given to a business that was owned by maybe his uncle? I don't know. I'm not sure, folks, but investigation is going. Given the past of the guy at the top, I don't know, folks. given what we just learned from the mayor himself, I have no hope. No hope. But okay, let's carry on. This has potentially led to a council suffering significant loss. So this has led to the council suffering significant loss. How much loss? Is it 1 million? Is it a couple thousands? What could it be? Because the councils have a lot of money to play with. For you to, quote unquote, significant loss, it must be in the millions. So let's keep reading, folks. Let's keep reading. Then obviously we're going to go and show you where the money goes and stuff. I mean, it's God. We got to do something about this, folks. We have to do something. I think this is like the Somalia, Minnesota thing, but times 10. Because nobody even checks it. But yeah, this is crazy. Now, let's carry on reading. Ineffective control in places says the value for money reported by EY. Internal council investigation called Operation Next Wage was launched after the council was alerted by police to potential criminal activity. The EY reports confirm this investigation looked at how a member of staff was able to allegedly commit fraud against the council. Whoa. It's also confirmed that the probe has since resulted in a dismissal of individuals involved. So they fired some people. And that Tower Hamlet is continuing to investigate whether any individual was implicated. A council spokesperson has confirmed police are still investigating the incidents, which date back 7 years. All right. Okay. Now, this is the reason why I told you a story about the mayor. All right. When was the mayor banned? He was banned from 2015 to 2020. Now, if you go back 7 years ago, he was still banned. Right? Can you confirm in the chat? Was he still banned 7 years ago? Because, I mean, it's 2026, right? So if this investigation is going back to 7 years ago, that means he was still banned. Confirm in the chat, yes or no. Or maybe my maths is not mathsing today. If that makes sense. So maybe we ought to look at him as well. Because if we're investigating this back, I mean, what's the chances that he's not involved in it as well? Because, I mean, he's the guy who's allocating funds, right? He's the guy who's been giving, he's the guy who's carrying the credit card, right? He's the guy who's saying, hey, you're going to get some, you're going to get some. Yeah, you also going to get some. Because he's the guy. But hey, I'm not going to say too many words, as of course, the investigation is ongoing. But let's carry on reading the article here. Then obviously we're going to get into how much money they get and where they spend it. It's ridiculous, folks, how these guys spend their money, man. Like, it's always crazy. Like, it's always people that don't make the money. The way they spend it, they don't care about it. They just put it everywhere. It's insane. All right. Okay, so this thing was 7 years ago. EY reports also found significant weaknesses in council's oversight and government's arranging, adding that while some steps have been taken, we remain concerned that the pace and urgent of response has not matched the scale of challenges. Yeah, that's normal, I guess. It concludes that Tower Hamlet Council remain exposed to further risk in relation to the best value duty, internal control, environment, risk management, and compliance with law and regulation, and potential for fraud and unethical behavior. So basically what they're saying is that, yeah, this, a fraud is going on and the police are still going this and this and this. All right, folks. Now let me show you how much money these guys spend, how much money they get, and why it's a big deal. Why we ought to start looking at this and be like, what's happening? Because we can't be giving money to councils and be like, all right, they're going to do it well with it. They're going to put it where it should go. Because really and truly, what we've seen the couple years, maybe decades to go back to, it doesn't go where it meant to go. Meanwhile, they charge more for the same services, but the services are just getting shitter and shitter. It's like, what the fuck? Sorry, guys. Sorry for my language. So this is the Tower Hamlet audit of the money. All right. So this is the Tower Hamlet audit. So our funding and where the money goes. This is their funding. So they receive. This is the money that they receive. All right. This is Tower Hamlet, the money that they receive. Okay. Now, where the money comes from, this is where the money comes from. So the breakdown. All right, cool. Where's the money coming from? Council tax. I'm sure the good slaves will pay the council tax. No, I'm sorry, I pay as well, so I'm a part of you. All right, cool. We're still in the con. Yeah, we're still in the field together. I'm sorry. So we gotta pay the council tax. I'm sure they pay those. So they receive 100 million from council tax reserves. I don't know what this really mean where that is. I'm sure maybe that could be investment, whatever that could be. I'm not sure. Reserve, or it could be the money that was reserved, or the money that maybe one time they got paid less and now they maybe they got paid more, they reserved it, whatever. Or maybe they saved some. So reserve could be anything. Government funding, so the government gives them this much, 56 million pounds. And of course, business rates, they charge businesses and they bring in this much a year. So basically, this is how big the bank really is. 342 million. That is a lot of money for one council for just Tower Hamlet. Now, here's where the money goes. Here's what the money goes. Now, services for elderly and vulnerable adults, £105 million. I think that, I don't know, folks. I think that's a lot of money. But okay, we need to do a big audit here. We need like a Dodge system here. Okay, children's services and education, £27.6 million. Now, we did a research, right, to see how many parks in London that have closed. Because if they're spending £27 million for children's services and education, that means, of course, they are also building more parks. They are building more field for the kids to go play. They are building more. They're just making stuff better for, children, and of course, they're just making it better for, education, for children to go out there and play. They're making it safe. They're just improving it to the best they can. But according to the reports in London, 14% of parks have closed down. You know, one of those parks that you grew up in, you played with your kids, or maybe you played yourself. Those parks do not exist anymore. I can confirm that myself because there used to be a park where I grew up in. I mean, I was there every time. So I used to go school. I wake up in the morning, school or whatever I need to do. If I'm staying over to do some stuff with the teacher, or maybe I'm staying over for PE, whatever it could be. When I go back home, I get changed, and instantly my mom sends me to the park to go play football because I wanted to be a footballer. So I'm there with training from 5 or from 6 till like 7:30 or 8. And then I go home. By the time I go home, I'm tired as hell. I'm tired. So I eat and sleep. Next day, repeat. So I didn't have time to go and see, hey, which friend is doing this? Hey, do you want to go here? No. I was very busy as a kid. I'm still busy right now. I always keep myself occupied with stuff. But today, that park is not free for the public anymore. You want to know why? Because the funding was not there to keep it free for children to just go and play. But somehow they still get more money. It's like, what do you mean? You gave money to keep the park open for us, for the children. Obviously not me anymore. For the children. But somehow the parks now is closed. It's only open to people who book it. So right now, the park that I'm referring to is not open only if you book the park. So if some football community, whatever, they book it and they play. And after they book it, it's closed. So you can't just walk in and play anymore. But before, it was open for anyone, everyone. And the park was good. But now, privatized, done. And according to the research, you can fact check me on this. In London, 14% of parks have closed. But somehow, these guys are spending £27 million on children's services. And I think that's including parks as well. So if we're spending, why are we closing it down? Of course, the investigation is going to prove us right or wrong. It's going to prove us if I'm right, if I'm wrong. But yeah, they spend that much. £54 million to protecting and supporting vulnerable children. Yeah, I'm sure you've support a lot of vulnerable children, grooming gang. Very, very much support vulnerable children. Now, a new report came out a few days ago. This Tower Hamlet mayor was asked to come and comment if there's a grooming gang in London, in Tower Hamlet. You want to know how long he took before he commented? You want to know how long? You want to know how many emails it took for the media outlet to get a comment from him? All right, so here's the truth. It took 13 emails to his team and himself. It took multiple phone calls to him and his team for him to comment. And what's the comment? there is no grooming gang. If there is, we're gonna do everything possible to make sure. But we're still spending. According to them, they are still spending £54 million to keeping vulnerable children safe. But when they asked to comment about the grooming gang, they're waiting for 13 emails, and they're taking 20 plus days only to comment by saying they're gonna protect children. Well, if we're spending this much, I'm sure we have a good team to respond to emails and phone calls. But apparently not. But I guess we're still spending to keep them safe, right? But anyways, the investigation is going to prove me wrong. All right. Housing services, they spend £7 million for the housing. Public health, they spend £34 million. Agriculture, cultural library and parks. Okay, cultural, I think this is the park then. So the children one and the education is probably different. This is the park, but somehow the parks are closing still. So still the same thing, right? But they're spending £13 million just for libraries and parks. Yeah, library close around 4 o'clock. What do you mean? Why? If we're spending that much, then keep the library open. Keep the libraries open. Keep them open till 10. I don't care. Keep them open till 9. Because I can say the same thing to my local library. I mean, those guys close like, it's like they don't want to open. They open late. They close early. It's like, but somehow we spend so much money for them. It makes no sense, folks. So of course, yeah. But benefits, when it comes to benefiting, when it comes to benefit, they didn't want to comment. Apparently, when it comes to benefit, they do not want to comment on that. But this is where the money goes. You tell me now. You tell me. Are these guys spending money correctly? Are they putting the money where it meant to go? Oh, they're just, they're doing whatever they want to do with it. I mean, given the mayor's past, given what the mayor has done before, he's been convicted and he was banned for fraud in the election. Using the money that he had to spend to the government, using the money that he had to spend to the, to spend in the council, he was using the money to spend to keep him in power. It's not his money. It's not his campaign money. It's the people's money. So that's fraud. Telling people to vote for him because he's Muslim is their duty for them to vote for him. That's manipulation. Spiritual influence is never in politics. That's why we separate it. You can't go out there and say, hey, because you believe in God, you have to vote for me. That's unfair. That's huge manipulation right there. And it's not fair for the for the congregates and the constituent. But either way, they are being investigated. Multiple people have been fired because of this investigation. So it looks like this investigation has a lot of teeth and is biting a lot of people. And I hope something comes to light, because I feel something is going on, given what we've reported about Sadiq Khan last week. I feel like something is there. Given that the people have been, some people have been fired, it looks like the investigation is biting people. And I hope it comes to bite these leaders as well. I really do. But then again, they will probably get banned 5 years and they'll come back and they'll be voted in again, just like this guy went through. God. Now, here's the problem, right? Because I wanted to find the benefits, right? So, because obviously I'm going to report to you about the benefit fraud tonight. But apparently, Tower Hamlet does not tell, how much they spend on the benefits. So they tell you about where they put the money in school, how much money they put in school. They tell you, this is like, some sort of benefits, but the real benefit payments, they do not want to say. Benefit payments are not included in the disclosure because they involve payments to individuals which may not disclose for a reason of privacy. So, yeah, of course, I understand how private it is. Keep it private, because obviously I'm going to report to you guys of the biggest benefit fraudster in the country who was jailed, came out and still taking benefit. It's like, what is going on? Yeah, but I want to play you this video. I want to play you this video before we transition into another story. I want to play you this video. I think it's important. It's funny video. It's a funny video. It's a funny video. All right, it's a funny video. I know they told me not to play this, but I want to play it. Okay, it's a funny video. All right, all right. This video is super funny, and you gotta like it. This is basically our politician every single day, anytime. All right, let's play this video. All right, you're gonna laugh. I hope so. All right.
Corruption is not bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved.
Yes.
But if I'm part of that corruption, I'll defend it.
If I'm a part of that corruption, I defend it. This is literally what's going on. Corruption is not only bad for the politicians if they are not involved. You know, Minnesota, Tim Wolf, governor, has just dropped. He has said he's not going to run again. He's just dropped himself out because of the corruption in the country, right? Yeah, the corruption in his state. But he's always the first one to call out corruption when he's on the other side. So corruption is bad for them if they are not involved. But if corruption is in the state, they defend it. That's literally what we see everywhere. We see it with the Labour Party. We see it with the Conservative. We see it with all the politicians, basically. There's never any sort of moral consistency in calling things out and saying, hey, this shouldn't be. I know I'm doing it wrong. This shouldn't be. I'm going to stop. Or maybe, fire yourself, resign. But no, it's only bad if they're, if they're not involved. But if they are, they defend it. They defend it indeed. Yeah, I'll wait to play this video. I've been holding off this video for a very long time when we were looking into this. But here's another video I want to play to you. This is Lee, talking about Tower Hamlet. I don't know much about him, but I think he's also a competition for for councillors in Tower Hamlets. So I think it's important for you to hear his report as well and his finding.
That our council's financials just don't add up.
They don't.
Taxes always go up, nothing gets better, and no one's ever held accountable. Well, now we have proof. Ernst & Young are one of the biggest and most well-respected audit firms in the world, and they've been hired to independently audit Tower Hamlets Council. And what they've found is just damning. To put it simply, they have found Tower Hamlets' financial statements don't add up. The council cannot provide basic evidence to support its financial statements. And again, these are not my words, they are the words of one of the most well-respected audit companies in the world. The invoices, the records, the payments, they don't match. The council cannot show how they are spending your tax money. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, Ernst & Young also found Tower Hamlets Council have not had a clean audit since the 2017-2018 financial year. Again, not my words, Ernst & Young's. For 7 years, the Tower Hamlets Council have not had an audit that was either fouled, disputed, or massively caveated. So who's to blame for this? Because let's be honest, the Tower Hamlets people deserve to know. Well, we know our mayor was banned from politics and kicked out of office
For fraud.
for corrupt and illegal practices. That's just a matter of fact. I don't understand how he came back in, but regardless, that's a fact. However, Labour were in charge between 2018 and 2022 when there were no clean audits either. So let's be clear, This isn't about blaming one man or one political party. Both Labour and Aspire have shown they cannot run this borough. They should not be trusted to do so going forward either.
Yeah, I agree with him. We should not trust people who have been banned for fraud and wrong, obviously, for corruption and all the crazy stuff. We should not trust them back in. I don't know how you would trust Keir Starmer to come into the country as your prime minister, who's in charge of everything, after he failed when he could have arrested, Jimmy Savile. I mean, how can you fail to put that guy in prison? Oh, now you want to care about it because he's dead? There's nothing you can do. I don't know how we didn't see that, but we still elected him. I get it. Yeah, not everyone has a clean past. Not everybody has a clean life. I know people do things wrong. But there's some stuff that you can do wrong that we cannot forgive you for. There's something that you can do that should, disqualify you from all the public office. I think so. But somehow we still leave that gap open for these guys to go in and claim the territory. But yeah, this is crazy, folks. We're gonna keep it on. We're gonna follow this up. So if you want us to follow up on this story, please vote on that new poll that was just made. Vote on that new poll. But yeah, all right, cool. We're gonna move on. Let's move on to the new story. God, there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, you're gonna have fun tonight. We're gonna have fun tonight. All right, we're gonna have fun. Okay, so all right, go grab your biscuits, go grab your tea, whatever you gotta do. Grab your water, and yeah, we're gonna have fun. Let's talk about this new one. If you think that one was bad, this one, oh man, oh man, oh man, this one is even worse. I don't know how this guy is gonna be coming to the UK. He's been granted visa. I want to show you who this guy is. I want to show you his video. Actually, I'm gonna let him tell you who he is. By the way he preaches, with his aura, the way of messaging, his influence around the world, and what he tells people to do, and his own morality as well, and how far he's willing to go to bring people to the religion of peace. All right, let's talk about this. I hope you've got your tea. If you have, then let's go. All right, this is a Muslim cleric who's coming to the UK. He's on a tour, a big tour. Yeah, this is a huge tour. This is one in a lifetime tour. All right, you gotta respect this tour, folks. He's out there. He's coming in to preach. He's coming in to give you the deed, the ummah, they call it. So yeah, this is him. He's coming here for 2 weeks. I think, is that 2 weeks from now or 2 weeks? All right. He's going to London. The capital city. He's going to London. He's going to Manchester. He's coming to Leicester. And he's going out there to preach. Yeah, he's going to go out there and give them the wisdom. The real true wisdom, they call it. Now, I want to show you the wisdom that he's been spreading the past couple of years of him being around. I want to show you. Obviously, I won't commentate as much. I will just let him do his thing. These are easy video you can find anywhere. These are easy video. You just search up his name. You can watch a full hour of him speaking. And I think it's important for us to know who this man really is and why are we letting this guy in to come preach this. And this is what he's preaching, folks. This is what he's here to preach, man. I don't know how we got. It's like maybe we don't know anything. Maybe we don't believe what we hear. I think that's too hard for our politicians. They don't believe what they hear. They hear it and they're like, oh yeah, he didn't mean it like that. He didn't mean it like that. It doesn't mean yeah, he said putting a bomb, he said putting a bomb in in somebody else's place and let it explode. Oh, he didn't mean it like that. All right, cool. So this is him preaching to young men. By the way, a lot of people who you know, a lot of people who watch these imam are pretty young. You know, as you already know, this Islam is it's the youngest religion. They have a lot of young people in it. Average age is like maybe in their 30s or 20s. So young people are watching this. And yeah, he's gonna come and speak in Manchester, Dewsbury, not far away to be fair. And he has over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. So let's play this.
You want to tell me there's no divine intervention when a mujahid takes a bomb and goes to a tank full with sensors and no one can see him and he puts it right there? That's not victory? See, the victory that we want, the one I mentioned, this is one of the victories. But what we are seeing right now is the real victory. Don't ever be fooled. Don't ever be deceived by the victory of the non-believers. It's just a temporary thing. In the dunya, by not giving up, and of course in the akhirah by being shuhada. What is the goal? The goal is, listen carefully please, because many people, oh, what kind of victory is talking about, Sheikh? The people died. Wallahi, every true Muslim would love to have such a death. إن الذين كفروا وظلموا لم يكن الله ليغفر لهم ولا ليهديهم طريقا. The people who have disbelieved, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never forgive them. They're making dua for Allah to liberate, to give victory to Gaza. What are we doing? Your brothers and sisters are giving up their life and their wealth and their properties. Give up a Starbucks coffee. Can you do this jihad? Give up a McDonald's burger. Dua needs action. وعزتي وجلالي الله أكبر. By my honor, by my glory, لأنصرنك ولو بعد حين. I'm gonna make you victorious, even if it takes forever.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if you need me to translate or anything, but I'm sure you probably understood the message. You understand the assignment, don't you? Yeah. So this man has said, I don't know if you watched the first part where he said, it's okay. Oh, you're telling me it's wrong if a mujahid was to take a bomb and go put it on the non-believers? You're telling me it's wrong? So basically he's saying that's a good thing. I mean, actually, let me play this video again so you don't say, hey, Barak, oh, you're changing it around. He didn't say that. All right, cool. Let's just, let's play again so, I don't have to tell you something else. He can tell you himself. So here's the thing.
You want to tell me there's no divine intervention when a mujahid takes a bomb and goes to a tank full with sensors and no one can see him and he puts it right there? That's not victory? See, the victory that we want, the one I mentioned, this is one of the victories. But what we are seeing right now is the real victory.
Oh, God. So if you guys are just tuning in, mujahid means mujahid or mujahid. There's different ways you can say it. Mujahid is basically a lone wolf Muslim, or maybe a small group of Muslims fighting forces who are who fighting people who are non-believers. Or it doesn't have to be a lone Muslim. It could be a group. It could be a battle of Muslims and a battle of non-believers. Well, according to them, non-believers, they are mujahid. And they are fighting, mujahid is basically when you're fighting a non-believer. So he's saying, well, he's asking us, are you telling me it's wrong to go put a bomb in a place where non-believers are at? Should I remind you what mujahid really is? You know what mujahid was that we've seen, the latest one that we've seen in the UK today, this time, was 2017. Manchester bombing. That was basically mujahid for him. If you think that is wrong, no, he thinks it's not. when those beautiful young girls, mothers, fathers, they took their girls to go watch Ariana Grande, which literally happened in my city, 20 minutes away from where I live, where we used to live. My sisters wanted to go to see Ariana Grande play a guitar and do all the all the stuff that they do. But of course, they were not allowed. Now a lot of young people went there. Because you have to know, like, Ariana Grande back then, his music was very soft. Obviously, now he's becoming more like, devilish stuff. I don't know. That's my opinion. I don't really care about her music. But still, she should go. And obviously, her fan, a pretty young woman, will go there and watch and have fun. And obviously, we've seen that terrorist attack that took a lot of people's lives. And if you think that is wrong, no, this guy doesn't. And he's coming to the UK to preach. He's going to the biggest cities in the UK. He's going to London, capital city. He's going to preach. And hundreds of young people will turn up, ready to receive the sermon, ready to receive the deed, ready to receive the wisdom. And he's going to go to Manchester, Dinsbury, Mosque, not far away. And it's going to go out there and preach. Young people will turn up ready to receive again the dawah. Yeah, give me the dawah. Give me the wisdom. He's going to preach to them, giving the words. And then he's going to go to Leicester and preach. And he's going to do that for 2 weeks. And right now, his passport, his visa has been approved. I don't know, folks. I'm truly not sure what the heck is going on. Why you would let somebody like this to come preach to your young people in the country is freaking insane. But again, you don't want to talk too much about it because, of course, that's a problem if you do. Did you guys see that leaked Islamophobia definition? Did you see it? Did you see it? Should I report on it? Should I report the Islamophobia definition that leaked? No? All right, okay. Okay, we're going to leave it for the next day. But Islamophobia definition was leaked. And it's crazy to read it. It's like, what? This is what Islamophobia definition really is? Yeah, apparently that's what it is. But folks, there's multiple videos I can play here about him. There's like, I think we have a lot of videos here. We've only just played you one video. I mean, should I play the other video? I think, should we play another one? But it's just all inciting, I don't know, violent. Basically what it is, or justifying horrible atrocity against non-believers. That's what it is. I don't call this preaching. All right, let's listen to this. This one is, oh God. I actually don't know why the UK is so weak on this issue. This is a big issue in the world, but the UK is very weak on it. But let's play this.
Of Iman. After that, there's nothing else. And this is my advice to my brothers and sisters who go in interfaith. Interfaith is extremely important, especially for us living in the West. But be very careful. Some people fall into that statement. Oh, you call him Jesus, you call him Yahweh, you call him Buddha, and we call him Allah. We are all the same. You're out of Islam.
Whoa.
You're out. You're supposed to hate. You're supposed to hate, not the non-believer, to hate his belief. You are supposed to hate his belief. إِنَّا بُرَآءُ مِنْكُمْ وَمِمَّا تَعْبُدُونَ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ كَفَرْنَا بِكُمْ وَبَدَا بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكُمُ الْعَدَاوَةُ وَالْبَغْضَاءُ أَبَدًا حَتَّى تُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَحْدَهُ. Surah Al-Mumtahina.
I didn't understand
We are
shit there.
innocent from what you worship other than Allah. And كَفَرْنَا بِكُمْ. We disbelieve in what you believe. And we have shown enmity and hatred to what you believe. Bada, it has to be clear that you hate anyone, not hate him personally, hate his belief that he says that Allah has a son. You hate it. You don't hate the person because the person could be your father. You're a Muslim and your father is not Muslim, and Allah ordered us to be friends with them. It could be your wife. You're going to hate your wife. You hate, and she knows that you hate that belief. She must bada. It's clear. They must know that you hate that belief. But you respect them and you treat them like Allah told us, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم. Allah did not prevent us to treat them with respect and honor. But they must know that I cannot stand that you are claiming that Allah has a son. لَقَدْ جِئْتُمْ شَيْئًا إِدَّا تَكَادُ السَّمَاوَاتُ يَتَفَطَّرْنَ مِنْهُ وَتَنْشَقُّ الْأَرْضُ وَتَخِرُّ الْجِبَالُ هَدًّا.
Alright, I've had enough. Okay, cool. You can go find him. You can search him up. And if you are waiting for his arrival, he'll be here very soon to preach. And if you want to go and listen to it, well, you can find him. You can book a ticket and, you know. And, yeah. I just seen a message which is very terrifying. Somebody just said, I want to unsubscribe temporarily to see how big Baraka's afro gets. Bro, really? Really? That is not good. That is not good. All right, don't do that, please. Come on, we gotta get 100k subscribers. I need a haircut. We need a haircut. This is a battle that we're fighting. I said to you that I will, you know, won't get a haircut until obviously we're here 100k subscribers. So if not, I'm staying to my word. So please, hey, spread the channel around. Let's get 100k subscribers. But all right, so he tweeted this. These are his tweet. I think it's important I read out the tweet as well. You know, the tweet is also, I mean, if he can say that out loud to his people, I'm sure writing the tweet down will probably be easy for him. So he tweeted, Allah give victories to Mujahid everywhere. Again, if I need to explain that to you, Mujahid is basically people who are fighting non-believers. So he's saying Allah gives victory to Mujahid, or Mujahid, depending, a lot of people have pronounced it different. Mujahid everywhere. So yeah, so whichever Muslim is fighting non-believer, I guess Allah will give you victory. That's what he tweeted, and apparently he's coming to preach in the UK. You know, more preach, I guess. But we're gonna move on to the next story. Thank you so much. That's the story there. I don't know what Shabana Mahmood is waiting. She needs to block this guy from coming to the country, but apparently his visa has been granted. He's here. He's not here yet. He's on the way. He's gonna preach, and I don't know how many millions or hundreds of people will turn up to his sermon. But all right, there's a guy out there who's going around making noise, okay? I have to tell you, there's a guy who's going out there making noise, a lot of noise perhaps, than he should be making. This guy goes by the name of Sadiq Khan. I'm sure you guys have seen this face before. He's been around, you know, he's hosting shows, New Year's, firebombing, you know, bonfire night, whatever. He's hosting, he's doing this stuff. And of course, he's seeing the public opinion is changing around him. He knows that a lot of people don't want him anymore. He knows that this might be the end of his tenure in this decade. He knows, and he's seen that coming. So he's trying to protect his reputation. He's trying to protect himself. As you already know, politicians really don't care about you unless they're about to run. When they're in power, they don't really give a heck, you know. But before gaining the power, before they lose it, they tend to start giving F, so then they can clear out their reputation and have a good ending, you know. Or maybe they just clean it up so it's okay, and you consider them as a good politician so that you can vote for them again. And I think that's what Sadiq Khan is doing. He's trying to clean his profile. I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to remind you of the dirt that he has contributed to the land. No matter how much he tried to clean up his point, for me to remind you how deadly and, well, in that sense, not obviously not deadly, you know, but how detrimental this guy has been to London. So let's talk about this story. I think it's extremely important. So a new report just came out there. A new report was published by BBC. And of course, the BBC, they are a good friend of Sadiq Khan. Of course, they're a good friend of Sadiq Khan, of course, right? Like, duh. I mean, duh. BBC published literally 5 hours ago. They published this. Now, BBC, of course, is supporting, you know, they're trying to clean the reputation of Sadiq Khan. And they said, this is what they said. This is what BBC said. This is the title. London homicide at 11 years low, Met Police say. And obviously, this is the time that Sadiq Khan, and also I think Sadiq Khan, yeah, this is basically the whole Sadiq Khan's tenure here. Homicide in London has fallen to its lowest level in more than a decade. New figures released by Metropolitan Police now show. The forces said 97 homicides were recorded in 2025, the lowest figure since 2014, at a rate of 1.1 per 100,000 people. Lower than New York, lower than Berlin, lower than Milan. It is the lowest homicide figure in London on record. Once population is taken into account, the Met Police said. So basically, this is whole thing tried to clean his reputation, right? Teenager homicide, which hits record level in 2021 when 30 young people lost their lives. Yeah, I know it's dangerous here. Dangerous in London. Has also dropped to the lowest level since 2012, with 8 teenagers killed last year. All right, so basically this whole thing is them trying to clean up his reputation. Basically, we can read the whole thing. It's a big long article, I'm telling you. It's a big long article, okay? It's a huge one. All right, we've read it through it, and it looks like they're just trying to clean it up. Cool. Now, they brought in all the good numbers of Sadiq Khan, all this good stuff. They're like, hey, this, you know, they were saying this, Sadiq Khan has done this, he's contributed here. So all the good stuff is done. You want to know why? Because it's important now. He's losing momentum. And there's a lot of people who are basically rivals who are coming up now. There's people who are rising up. People like Al Middleton, people like Layla Cunningham. They're coming up. And he sees them as a threat now. So of course, he's going to want to clean his reputation. And what's the best tool to use? BBC, you guessed it right. Yes. What other tool can you use to clean up your reputation? Is BBC, right? And of course, BBC are always ready to play. They're always ready to play. So they're trying to clean up his reputation. So you and I can think that this guy has been doing a great job. Really? He's been doing a great job. All right, maybe I need to remind you of how much this guy has ruined London. Maybe I need to remind you. But before I do that, I'm gonna invite this wonderful warrior in London who has been doing a tremendous job. Goes by the name of Susan Hall. I'm gonna let her take over. There's a video of her talking about how Sadiq Khan has basically manipulated the numbers to show you guys that to make you think that he's doing well, but he's really not doing well. He's ignoring other numbers, but he's bringing in only one single number to show that is good to him. So you guys can change his opinion around him. But here's Susan Hall, then I'll report to you about the sexual assault, the crime, and all the crazy stuff that's still taking place today. Just in case you forgot, all right? Just in case you think everything is on the lowest record, according to the BBC. But here's Susan Hall.
Figures are down, and I applaud the Metropolitan Police for that. I really do. But Sadiq Khan does this all the time. Oh, look, these figures are really good. He doesn't sell you that the figures on the other side are bad. Figures against violence against women and girls are increasing. We've got grooming gangs out there that are really bad, that Sadiq Khan pretended he didn't even know existed. So let's just look at one set of figures. Let's look at all figures. Well done for the homicide, but for goodness sake, get a grip on the problems that women and girls feel, because women and girls in particular do not feel safe.
Yeah, correct. Women and girls do not feel safe today's time. Women and girls do not feel safe. And I got a figure here from T-Sister. I got a figure here I need to show you. It's important. Nobody wants to show you this figure. Of course, the BBC want to tell you everything is record low. Record low. Oh, everything's record low. Oh, clap for Sadiq Khan one more time. That's what they want to show you. That's what they want you to do. But they don't want to show you these graphs. They brought off all the graph, right? They always bring a lot of graphs, animated graph. And you're thinking, ooh, this looks very nice. It's animated. Look at that. It was very high. Now it's gone down. Wow, Sadiq Khan must be doing a good job. Really? Is he doing a good job when it comes to sexual offenses in London? Okay, let's look at the time where Sadiq Khan took power, right? In 2016, when Boris Johnson left the place to go out there to run for, obviously, to become the prime minister. Now, Sadiq Khan, when you look at the crime here, when you look at this graph, 2016 when Sadiq Khan took power. Okay. All right, what does the graph tell you? What does the graph tell you? Is the last line, 2024 to 2025, higher than the one in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022? Is it? Yeah, you're damn right it is. But somehow that number is ignored. Of course, let's focus about homicide. Yeah, of course, I'm going to clap for that. Homicide is a big deal. Having young boys, I have to say as well. Young boys stabbing each other up in the buses, stabbing each other up in the school. I mean, that is dangerous. That is something that we shouldn't have to deal with in the UK. But for him to try and manipulate us, psyop us to think that this guy has been doing a great job, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it. But here's more evidence of to show that this guy has not been doing a good job. Not just with a groom, not just with a sexual assault, but also with a crime. All right, maybe homicide is down. Okay, great stuff. Thank you so much, Sadiq Khan. But how about just crime in general? How about crime in general? Is that down? Okay. All right. So it's not down. All right. Okay, cool. So people can just get mugged any time of the day in London. Because it's normal, right? You can get mugged any time in the day in London. You'll be carrying your phone and somebody will come and punch you in the face for no good reason. Or snatch your phone. Oh, it doesn't matter if you're a girl, or boy, or old man. Somebody will just assault you for no good reason. Now, crime per thousand population in London from 2015 to 2025. All right, look at the graph. What does it tell you? What does it say to you? Okay, you see 2020, that was because of COVID. Nobody was coming outside, all right? And then straight after COVID, it just shoot back up. And today, it's 106 per 1,000 people. So if there's 1,000 people out there, 106 will get hit in the face. Somehow, they're going to get hurt. They're going to wish they didn't go outside. Sadiq Khan wouldn't want you to see this. Of course, because he's trying to clean his reputation. Yeah, this is what they do. When they know they're losing the support, when they know they're about to lose, they get the media propaganda machine, which being BBC today, and they get BBC to write up a piece, and BBC publish, and it's so sad and very disingenuous for the people at home who sit there and be like, wow, so it's not as bad as I thought. No, Jennifer, it's freaking bad. They're lying to you. So this is it. So sexual assault is higher than ever. Crime per 1,000 people is higher than ever. But of course, homicide is very low. All right. So that's the campaign now. That's what he's gonna charm on now. That's why he's gonna, that's why he's gonna tell his people, everyone who criticize him now. But when you ask him about grooming gang, he tells you he doesn't know about it. He's never heard about it. He doesn't know about grooming gang. He's never heard such a thing. he thinks you're speaking German. You know, it's like, what, grooming gang? What, really? No, huh? No way, never heard of that. Can you say it again? This is Sadiq Khan. He doesn't know what grooming gang is. It's a joke, right? It's a freaking joke, folks. But yeah, that's Sadiq Khan right there. I'm not going to speculate too much, but that's the report. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the other story. We're going to get to the Iran story. I think it's important we do that last. Actually, should we do that next? Should we do the Iranian story now? Or should we do the fraud Bulgarian migrants who came into the country and stole over 54 million in benefits? And now she's claiming benefit again. And reason being is that she's depressed. Is she depressed that she got caught? Or is she depressed that she went to jail? Or is she depressed that she's a fraudster? Which one is it? It can be, maybe it can be both. Maybe it can be all of them. But it can't be that she's depressed because she's in the country. She's lucky to still be here. Very lucky. So which one should we cover? We should. All right, let's cover this Iranian stuff. Man, this is insane, folks. All right, cool. Let's cover this first. Right. So a truck drove into people. A U-Haul truck drives into protesters, sparked chaos at West Hood protest against Iran government. I mean, when you see the footage, folks, you're going to be shocked. There was like hundreds of people there protesting hard. Hundreds of people protested. They were having fun, singing songs, chanting slogans, whatever they were doing. It was a peaceful time with Iranian flags everywhere. But a guy pulled up with his truck and he just drove into people. I don't know how you can think this is a good idea. It's freaking insane. I mean, where are we getting into where you can't just see over people protesting about something? Maybe you might disagree and just walk away and not interfere. And drive away and not interfere. But no, today's time, people feel justified to drive whatever vehicle they have into the crowd. And no wonder why a lot of Christmas markets were closed. No wonder why we had police officers everywhere during the Christmas time. Or any time when during people gathering together. Because there's always individuals like this who feel like, oh, there's hundreds of people lined up there. I can go one time. It's terrifying, to say the least. All right, let me just quickly read you the story. But before I do, I want to play you these videos to show you how bad it was. It was extremely bad. Oh, God, this is insane. It's just insane. All right, cool. So this is it. This guy drives into people. Literally drives into people. Can you see? Can you see that? This is after he drove into people. Of course, hundreds of people are coming to him like, yo, get him out of that car. Let's have it. Rightfully so, I guess. Of course, the police is here. They're trying to defend him from these people, of course, because they know if they let him out, these people will have him. And you see now that can you see somebody breaking this window of the truck? You see that? They're angry, folks. You don't just drive into people like this. They're angry. So hundreds of people are here trying to get him out. Man, it's horrifying, bro. It's horrifying. But let's see this one. Can you see this one? There is his face. Can you see? See, the police is protecting him. Hundreds of people. Hundreds of people. Here's another angle. This was before. This is how he drove into them. He's driving. They're screaming. He's just driving. He just goes off. Think about it. Hundreds of people are here, and he's just and you know, one thing that sparked this mass, of course, chaos, is because the truck said, I'm going to read you this article, but let's play this video. I'm going to tell you more about the truck itself and why it was very touching to the Iranians who were protesting because of the thing that was written down on the truck. So this is him, drives, and this is what it says on the truck. It says, no Shah, no regime. US, don't repeat 1953. No mullah. I'm going to explain to you what this means and why, of course, why a lot of Iranians are pissed about this words here. But so he drives into it. Can you see people at the top of the truck? Can you see somebody here at the top of the truck? He's driving. Hundreds of people are chasing him. But he still drives through them. A couple of people are injured for sure. That's been confirmed. Yeah. This is where we are, folks. Now let's read you this article real quick. So police are investigating an incident in which a man drove a U-Haul truck in several people on Sunday during a protest in Westwood against Iranian government. Los Angeles Fire Department said 2 people were evacuated. Well, 2 people were injured. Not evacuated, injured, fully injured. Okay. Just fact check them. 2 people were evacuated at the scene and declined treatment. So obviously they were injured. They went to get treatment. Police said 1 adult was confirmed struck by the vehicle, but did not sustain significant injury, and no ambulance was called to the scene. The driver of the truck, however, was injured. Of course, a lot of people wanted him. They wanted to do more to him than just injuring him, you know. But yeah, he was injured in the chaos following the incident, according to the LA police captain Richard Gabardon. All right, cool. Now, here's what pissed a lot of Iranian people off, right? So the demonstrators pounded on the truck and ripped off the sign attached to the vehicle that had the message reading, "No Shah, no regime, US, don't repeat 1953. Now, the reason why that is very significant, 1953, I don't know if you guys know, but 1953, they had a nationalist prime minister, goes by the name of Mossadegh. Nationalist prime minister Mossadegh. He was toppled by the West. So Britain, of course, Britain was the leading one, and the CIA, the Americans. Of course, Americans, they're always joining in it. they're always ready to do regime change, right? So the American toppled him because Mossadegh was a nationalist. He wanted to put Iranian people first, and he wanted to nationalize the oil, because you have to see Iran was making a lot of money, but a lot of his money was going to Britain, because the Anglo-Iranian petrol, the business, that's what they had. And so a lot of money was going to Britain. So, of course, a nationalist comes in, a patriot, I have to say, and said, hey, we want to put Iranian first. So we're going to nationalize it so we can make the money. We're going to sell it to you, but we are making the profit, okay? Which, of course, I am for it. I'm for it. Yeah, any country, if they want to do it, they should do it. Just like we say Britain first, they should also say Iranian first. Of course, that's always never a good case for any sort of, underdeveloped country. So Britain, we went in and we toppled him, and we stole the Shah. We gave the Shah back power. And the Shah came in with absolute power. He had power before, but this nationalist ruler, this nationalist prime minister, Mossadegh, had more influence than the Shah, because the Shah tried to get him out because he had so much support. The public wanted him because of what he was promising and doing for the Iranian people. So, of course, the Shah needed help. And so they kicked down the prime minister. They took him out. And the Shah gaining absolute power. And, of course, then obviously that led into the 1979 revolution. So this message of him saying, US, don't repeat 1953, he's basically trying to say that the leadership in Iran right now is like what it used to be in 1952, 1951. Of course, I disagree with that. Bro, that's insane for you to say that, to suggest that. Okay, you might say, hey, Britain, don't interfere. We might get, maybe a wrong person might take power. Okay, maybe you can say that, but that's up for debate because we don't know who might take power. The Shah of Iran, Prince Pahlavi, he wants the Iranian to be free, but he's not saying he wants to be a prince and the king. He's not claiming to be the person who's going to do it. He wants them to be free from the Islamic Republic. He looks like that way. Because he's not saying, hey, I want to be the king, I want to be the prince, I want to be the prime minister. No. He's saying, hey, I want to free my people, basically. No, so that's important. But for him to try to say, hey, don't repeat 1953, is just so ridiculous. Because in 1953, Iran was actually doing good. Today, Iranians are not doing good. Of course, yeah, you can say, all right, the Shah was killing people in the hundreds. All right, yeah, I agree. The Shah was also a autocratic leader. He was killing a lot of people with his secret police, Navak, a secret police that was built by Mossad and the CIA that he used to make sure nobody criticized him. Yeah, he was killing a lot of people. Okay, I get it. But after the Shah left, the people were not dying by hundreds. Now they were dying by thousands. Tens of thousands now. People were dying. Hundreds and thousands of people were dying now. So they toppled the Shah, thinking that what was going to come next was going to be beautiful. Meaning, this Ruhollah Khomeini, who was in exile in France, Britain sent him to France. Iran, the Shah sent him to France. Because here's the thing, yeah, let me give you a quick history stuff, right? A lot of people are not telling you the truth about this Iranian stuff. I know if I tell you the truth, you might be like, hey, you're not absolutely saying everything that everybody else is saying. Yeah, because of course they have an agenda. They're not telling you the other side. But before the Shah came, before 1979, Iran was doing well. All right? Iran was doing well. But they were doing well by force. And it was changing a lot of stuff. 1960, I think. Sorry, 1953, 1955. The Shah wanted to change the way Iran was living. He wanted to change everything. So that's when he introduced women's right to vote, women's right for them to dress however they want, introduced land reform where people now could get the the poorest people in the country could also receive a little bit of land from the clergy, from all the big guys, from the religious mullahs, from the religious, big guys. So, land reform, of course. A lot of people didn't like that because land reform, usually you take the land from the people who have a lot. Of course, the people who have a lot will hate it. So land reform was introduced and, it's basically he moved into more Western way of living. And it was not just normal stuff and all the cool stuff, right? Now, a lot of Iranians, some of them thought that the change was happening too fast and they didn't like it. And they said that this guy was moving the country more into the West and they didn't like the Western way of living. And you guessed it, the people who said no were obviously Islamic leaders. And because people couldn't criticize the king because the Shah gained a lot of power, nobody could criticize him because he had a secret police that was built by him, by Mossad, and obviously the CIA built in the secret police. Search up secret police of Iran. Obviously, this will come in. He used the secret police to basically prison all his opposition, prison all the people who criticized him. And there was one guy, one cleric who was very famous in the country, who publicly attacked the Shah. And he went by the name of Ruhollah Khomeini, yeah? He criticized the Shah and the Shah kicked him out. He sent him to exile. He exiled him to Iraq, first of all. He sent him to Iraq and then he sent him to France. And for you guys thinking, hey, how did that guy end up in France? For the French presidential plane to fly him in. Well, the reason why, because he was exiled for criticizing the Shah. But because this guy gained a lot of momentum and gained a lot of support in the country, because nobody else could criticize him, and he was the only one doing it. A lot of people felt like he was the guy going to free them from the Shah. So they supported him. And then when he was in France, he was making a lot of videos. Sorry, not videos back then. He was making a lot of cassette tape, sermons, political sermons, and it was sent through. It was smuggled in. His message was smuggled in into Iran. And the cassette tape was basically spreaded everywhere in the country, where almost every mosque was playing it. And of course, more people got to know him, and more people said, like, yeah, that's the guy. And he was basically a guy from outside calling the people to topple him. And of course, as you already know, the West, Americans, Britain, I mean, we don't have the best track record on being loyal to our allies. America doesn't have the best track record on being loyal. Whenever it seems like, yeah, I like that guy, I'm going to topple him. Even though he's my friend, I'm going to topple him to bring new face. I'm going to also topple him to bring new face. I mean, we've seen it with Syria. Look at Abu Muhammad al-Julani. He was a terrorist. We had £20 million bounty head on his head. The Americans wanted to capture him so bad. But today, he's shaking hands with Trump. So we basically don't have the good track record on being loyal to our allies, right? Cool. That's a fact. That's a proven fact. We don't have the loyalty. We always just go to whoever can give us what we want. Now, because the Shah was losing a lot of support, a lot of people in Iran felt like that's the guy we should go for. And of course, the West are like, a lot of people in Iran are saying that's the guy. All right, fuck it. We're going to topple the Shah and bring the guy. And that's what they did. And guess what? As soon as they brought Ruhollah Khomeini in, they brought him in. He changed everything and stabbed the West in the back. And he told the West, fuck off. Don't talk to me anymore. And he just gave more power to the mosque. He gave more power to the religious leaders. He closed down the libraries. He closed down the newspapers. He closed down basically every single thing. All the reforms that the Shah was making. And he said, hey, we're going to rule with Islamic jurisdiction. And then people were like, what the fuck, bro? Really? And it was too late. By 1980, before the Iraq-Iran war, it was too late. The Iraq-Iran war happened, and that's when we seen a lot of Iranians that basically fled the country, because the Iraq-Iran war was very deadly, it was very brutal, especially for the Kurds. The Kurds had it the worst, because they were chemically destroyed with Saddam Hussein. And obviously that was the thing that led to weapon of mass destruction. The weapons that the West gave Saddam Hussein to fight Iran with was the weapon that the Bush administration, the Tony Blair administration used to justify the illegal war to Iran. Of Iraq. We gave them those weapons of mass destruction when they were fighting Iran. It's so deadly, bro. When you look at geopolitics, it's like nobody's loyal to anyone. Everybody's just covering for themselves. Just a quick little information war right there. But yeah, okay, cool. So that's Iran. This is very crazy. The fact that they can go out there and try to brutally attack everybody. It's insane. It's crazy. And it, of course, it's deadly. All right, cool. We gotta move on. Next story. By the way, what do you guys think of Trump taking so long striking Iran? What do you think he's waiting for? Why is Trump taking so long? I mean, are they trying, because the Iranian mullahs are just made a connection to Trump saying they want to negotiate. What do you mean you want to negotiate? We want you out. Forget negotiation. We want to do the Maduro stuff on you. No negotiation here. You can keep that to yourself. So, do you think Trump is going to negotiate? Because if he does, then that means the mullahs will stay in power. If he doesn't, and if he doesn't strike now, that means the mullahs will stay in power. Because it doesn't matter how many protest people do. These guys don't have the moral high ground. They don't have morality for them to decide, for them to think to themselves and be like, all right, cool. The guys don't want us in, or they don't want us here. We're going to leave. Just like the Shah did. And he left, he left the country in 1978. Sorry, January 1979, he left. And February, the guy from France came in, Ruhollah Khomeini. Basically, literally 2 weeks. And then by 1980, the revolution was done. It was so quick. It took 9 months for them to consolidate power and done. And then brutally start suppressing everybody else. So I hope Trump don't negotiate. I really hope Trump just maybe he's taking his time. I know he's very, they have to plan it out. But it's taking so long. And the longer it takes, the more people die. Have you seen the people that have died? It's freaking insane, bro. We're working on a documentary that might come out later tomorrow about Iran. And I actually want to show you. I want to show you the preview of it. Do you guys want to see the preview of it? I think you guys will like this. Yeah, let me quickly show you the preview of this Iran video that we've worked on. Let's see. All right, do you guys want to see the preview? All right, let me show you the preview, okay? All right, here's the preview of it. Here's the preview. Go ahead. This is Iran, where freedom does not exist, where they shoot people for protesting, they kill women for not wearing a hijab. And this has been going on since 1979. But today, something is happening. The Iranian people are fighting back and they're asking for
King Reza Pahlavi, our latest exiled prince, who is not prince no more, who is our king, King Reza Pahlavi.
Oh shit. Oh damn. Oh, yo, what the fuck? But as expected, the leftist Antifa turned up and they tried to shut it down.
These guys are killing Iranians in Iran. And these guys are supporting them. Supporting Palestine equal with supporting Hamas. Supporting Hamas equal with supporting IRGC. Now, tell me, who's fucking wrong, huh?
They called the Iranians Nazis. That's what they called
They
them.
called you guys Nazis?
They called them Nazis when they got past. Nothing, because they're celebrating.
Call us anything you want. Call us whatever you want. We are gonna take Iran free from mullahs. That's it. Fuck Palestine. Fuck Hamas.
That is the video that's gonna come out very soon. So let me know what you think. That's the video that the team and I have been cooking up. Okay, cool. So yeah. So I think that's it for today. But quick one before you guys go, yeah. I want to engage with you guys for a bit. I feel like I've not engaged with you guys for a very long time. So talk to me. Do you guys have any questions? Let's see. Let me see the chat. Let me actually read the chat. So somebody's cooking. What are you cooking? Okay. They're cooking. They have not responded about what they're cooking. I'm sure they're cooking something good. Invite me. I want to come eat. I've been talking for a little bit. I've been talking for a while now. Let's see what it's sausage and mashed peas and gravy. Ooh, sausage and mashed peas and gravy. Sick. Sick. Shout me. Who else is cooking in the chat? Who else? Who else is cooking? Sick, right? Yes, free Iran for sure. We have to free Iran. I don't know what Kistama is doing. He's not said anything about the Iranian people. And if he has, it's just little tweets, which that basically means nothing. The Twitter tweets means absolutely nothing unless you're a super powerful nation like Trump. Britain is not as powerful as it was. I have to say it to you guys. Our words at the world. Look at that. We have to get in. We have to talk to France. We have to talk to Germany. We have to talk to Denmark, Italy, and all these places just for us to make a statement on international matter. What the fuck? What do you mean we have to talk to Macron? Oh, we have to make a group statement. No, we say it how it is. Because if we were powerful, we wouldn't need a group chat going on and deciding what to say. No, we should say it like, yo, Iran, you're going to be free today. We're going to send out Typhoon jets, bomb the shit out of them. Done. They're freed. But no, we have to wait. We have to think. Silly, bro. So yeah, this is crazy. Kistama is a very. He's not doing well. He's not doing well for sure. So somebody says evening Barak from Scotland. You're a fantastic young man. Your parents done a fantastic job and raising you right, helping us so much sweeter. Sorry, the reason why I'm moving like this is because the super chat is over there and there's like a line in between. So I have to like scroll it and move around. So yeah, rock on Iranians. Freedom is yours after 47 years of imprisonment. Yeah, that's right. After 45 years, freedom is near. Freedom is really near. Barak, your methods best with your polls. It's the way forward for geopolitics. What do you mean by that? Could you talk more about that? Could you explain what you mean, Barak? Your method best with your polls is the way forward in geopolitics. I don't know. I don't know what you meant by that. You mean my polls are good? My methods of polling, or my message of my method of reporting geopolitics is good? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not getting you there. Sorry, maybe I'm just off. I've been talking for too long. I could be off. Can you guys hear me? All right, cool. Jenny says, thank you, Barak. Thank you so much, Jenny. You are a truth warrior for sure. You know, when I come on live, and I always start my live by saying, ladies and gentlemen, patriots, truth seekers. I'm addressing you, Jenny. I'm addressing you, truth seekers, digital warriors. You are a digital warrior for sure. You are always here. You are always here. I mean, it's you, True Finder, and I think, let me actually scroll through this chat. True Finder, and I think, let's see, there's multiple names that I've seen here. True Finder and Capricorn Moon. Capricorn Moon has been here for a while. So thank you so much, Capricorn Moon. True Finder, of course, obviously she's the leading member of this movement that we've created here, the Baraka Show. There's multiple people who have been here for long. I'm trying to see names that I've seen before. I'm sure obviously I can just check how long you guys have been. I can just see it, how long you guys have subscribed for. But I'm just trying to see what I've remembered. But yeah, but I know Jenny is like the top supporter here. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Jenny. Somebody says it appears that geopolitics is affecting everyone's daily life. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Geopolitics is the reason why we no, I wouldn't say have what we have. It's the reason why we let me tread careful here, because I think geopolitics is extremely important. And one moment that highlighted that recent history is through Liberation Day with Trump, when he went out there trying to put tariff on over people's country, on bringing in goods and trade and stuff. That was because when you seen how everybody reacted, they stopped talking about anything that was going on in their country and they started talking about the tariff. Because that was important. Because when you look around and you're seeing that your food is coming from somewhere else, you want to keep that going. You want to keep that coming in. Or when you look around and you see that your biggest funding of your economy, let's say that could be a car manufacturing that sells overseas but pays a lot in your in tax, and you see that brand being tariffed by some other country, you want to fix that, because that's going to affect how much tax these guys pay. That's going to affect how much they produce. So geopolitics is extremely important. Like this phone was made in China or India. It wasn't made in Britain. It was made in China and India. Even they used to say before made in California or maybe made in China behind, but they don't really say anymore. But if you look at the sayings and you go really deep into it, it's going to tell you it's made in China or India. Now, if India decides to put tariff on us, I mean, it's going to be extremely hard for us to buy these new phones, for us to get these new MacBook, for us to get the... Where is this water from? Did I say it here? Dublin. This came from Dublin. Oh, shout out to the Irish. Sick. Yeah, came from Dublin. Sick, man. No, let me drink it again. Actually, I'm going to buy more of this. I don't know if that's just the business address, but I'm not sure where's the corporation really at. Yeah, but Floran, Andres, Baraka, you're an amazing young man. Been following you for a couple of years now. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys have been the biggest blessing in my life. One of the biggest blessings in my life since 2023. It's been huge support I've been getting from you guys. So for all you guys who have been here for a while, thank you so much, man. Evening, Barack. Love from Wales. Was lovely to see the Israel with great people of Iran. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Israel is supporting Iran. I think they've been supporting Iran for a while. I think Israel under the Shah, they were supporting the Shah a lot. But as you already know, whenever a leader in their own country is being called to resign, geopolitics, current foreign countries also decide where to put the support. And that's why Ruhollah Khomeini was also supported by Israel too, because of course you got to maintain your influence in the country. So you have to switch. Just like Istama right now, the moment people start saying step down, politicians far away will look at that and be like, who's the next one might come in? And then they're going to side with that guy. So it's never full on loyal to the person. It's full on loyal to the influence that the next person will have in the country. And I think right now, of course, the mullahs don't like Israel. So of course, that's something that they, so they don't support the mullahs, as they've been bombing Israel for the last couple months heavily. So Israel supports Reza Pahlavi and the people that's launching the revolution in Iran, which is very good to see, because that's the way forward. That's the way of peace in the Middle East, I would say. That's the way of peace. If Iran falls, if the mullahs fall, I don't believe Iran will fall, but I say the evil leadership of Iran falls, they will be free again. And then that will change geopolitics as a whole, because China will lose their biggest ally. Obviously, before Russia, they'll lose the biggest ally. Obviously, they had Maduro. Venezuela is gone. They have Cuba. That soon is going to be taken care of. And if they lose Iran, that's huge. Basically, they lose a lot of their influence in the Middle East. Of course, Russia is big. Russia is in Europe. Russia is in Middle East. Russia is in America. Of course, obviously, Alaska was obviously a part of Russia, but it was sold to America. But they were basically in all continent apart from Africa. So they share a border with European country. They share a border with China. They share a border with, I think, Iran. They also share a border with. Did they share a border with Iran? No, they don't share a border with Iran. No, they don't. They don't. No. Wait, what? Maybe they do. No, they don't. They don't. So Russia is huge. But yeah, so geopolitics is extremely important, and of course it affects a lot of our life. But then again, we have our own struggle here in the UK, so I think we should try to focus on it. The moment we start looking about who's doing what in that other country, we lose the real problem that we lose the energy to fight the problem that we also have here. So every time when I see a lot of people putting their attention to outside affairs, that's an resource allocation. Everything's being pushed into that side. And I'm thinking, hey, bro, look, we are in the mess too. Look, a digital ID is about to be put upon us. Look, this, Islamophobia definition is about to be put upon us. Look, all these things that we never voted for is about to be, forced upon us. Look, we got to fight here. But of course, yeah, we can also give a little bit of attention to other countries like Iran right now. But we shouldn't give all our 100% because we also have a fight to fight here in United Kingdom. So yeah, so I do engage geopolitics. I learn a lot about geopolitics, learn about Hitler, and learn about the Soviet Union, all those guys, Iran-Hitler relationship, learned about that. Very telling, very fascinating how they toppled the Shah in 1940, and they put his son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, in 1942, because they feared that Iran might be influenced by Hitler. I mean, that was that is like, whoa, that's a cool story to learn about. So all these, so West, the Western power, it's just, they've always had influence in Iran, but they lost it as soon as they picked the wrong person. They did regime change in Iran in 1940s. They changed the father and they put the son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. And in 1951, they did another regime change where they took the Shah. Well, it wasn't really regime change, but they thought the Shah had a lot of influence by the Soviet. This was during the Cold War. So they told the Shah, saying, hey, the Shah, look, man, we fear that you might join the Soviet. So they put this nationalist ruler, which was, obviously he gained a lot of support, which he went by the name of Sadiq. He gained a lot of support. And then they toppled him because he said, hey, he wants to nationalize the oil, and Britain didn't want to lose the oil. And they feared that the oil might go to the Soviet. And of course, that's an important part of history, the Soviet Union, the Cold War. You don't want to lose the oil to the Soviet Union. So that was important. So we toppled Mossadegh, democratically elected leader, by the way. And then we gave more power to the Shah. And the Shah, of course, took more power and he did this stuff. And then we seen a new guy coming in. More people supported that guy, Ruhollah Khomeini. And we toppled the Shah and we put Ruhollah Khomeini. And guess what? Ruhollah Khomeini said, fuck every Western influence in the country. And then obviously we found ourselves in this situation where Khomeini and these guys have been ruling for 47 years now. And we're like, what the fuck we've done? Yeah. It's crazy. It's freaking insane. All right, they were worse. They were in a worse state then than we think we need to a proper political party. Ben Habib is the man. Crisis King. Yeah, that's right. Crisis King for sure. Ben Habib, I've spoke to him a couple times now. I've interviewed him twice in real life. I've interviewed him one time virtually, and I think that guy means well. He's strong. He's tough. He means what he says, and he says what he means. And he's not a guy that needs a teleprompter to tell you how he feels. He's not a guy that needs a teleprompter to tell us our history. He can just recite it. He can just say how it is, how he feels, and I truly think, yeah, he might be the guy for the job. He might be the guy for the job. Hopefully, the media and all the propaganda machine don't attack him very bad, which obviously they are. They're attacking him by making him not known to people at home. He's not on BBC. He's not on BBC Question Time. He's not on GB News. He's not on Talk TV. How the fuck are people meant to know about him? Because there's some people at home who don't turn up to protest. Do you know that, right? More people at home don't turn up to protest. Those are the people who need to know who Ben Habib and Advance UK is. Maybe you and I might know and think, oh yeah, everybody's going to vote. Not really. Not many people know him. So Ben Habib needs to turn up to, BBC Question Time. He needs to turn up to that. And of course, I know he's not there because he doesn't. It's not like he's not there because he doesn't want to. He's not there because they don't invite him. They don't want him there. So yeah, this propaganda machine that have obviously basically inverted him in a way where they're not trying to put him on the light because they know his message will resonate with a lot of people. So that's another job that you and I have to also work on to make sure he's known. But yeah, Barack, it was the prepare at the time. Wait, what? What did you say? Barack, it was in the papers at the time. Sorry, couldn't read that, but it was in the paper at the time. Yeah, I'm sure. And guess who got him back in power? Khan. Yeah, Sadiq Khan is always helping. So what you seeing in Whitechapel is the result of what he was funded, or we funded. Are you talking about a fraud in Tower Hamlet? It's a huge one, bro. It's a huge one. So somebody says John Caskel. I hope I'm saying your name right. He says it's up to us to promote him. To promote him feet on the beat. Yeah, that's true. We have to promote him. You have to, because nobody will know about him unless people promote him. And of course, he has to also do a lot of work in attending a lot of people's podcasts, attending a lot of people's basically interviews that put him on a lot of people at home screens, and then they can learn about him and decide if he's the guy for them or not. So he has to put himself in that situation, but also you also have to promote and do a lot of promotion, which I've seen in the chat about Advance UK. So yeah, so I truly think he has a chance for sure. I truly think he has a chance. So Jenny says we need Ant Middleton for Mayor of London. Plus he's hotter. Hey Jenny, hey Jenny, you gotta be sensible here. But yeah, I totally understand you. Ant Middleton, yeah, no homo. Yeah, he's a little bit hotter too. No homo, all right? No homo, okay. God. That could be fucking what? Somebody might say that's crime in today's time, saying no homo. I remember we used to say that all the time in high school, especially when you sky somebody's water, you drink in the same bottle as another man. You're like, hey, no homo. That's how. I don't know if you guys know, but when we were young, we used to always try to tell each other that we're not gay. If I put my hand on no homo, it's like we always had to make sure people know we're not gay. But today you can't do that because of course, if you say no homo, people will be like, hey, it's like, bro, what the heck? But yeah, I'm sure you guys, I'm sure the guys in the chat understand. Yeah, I'm sure the guys in the chat understand. All right, folks. I think we're going to have to end it. All right. But it's been very lovely. It's been lovely talking to you guys. I need your guys' support. I need you guys to join our Patreon account. It's important. I need you guys to join the Patreon because YouTube is very volatile. I have to tell you, YouTube is very, very volatile for us. They have, I don't know, not many videos get that many views now. So if you can fund the channel, just join the Patreon. You can join in basically for £3 a month. £3 a month. You can join in to keep us doing what we do. And it'll be incredible if you join. Because that's why we don't really drive for a lot of like, hey, do this and do this and do this for us, do this for us. I would just like you to just do like a small little monthly thing that you won't notice is coming out, but that keeps us going. Instead of asking for like, hey, I need a donation for £50. Hey, I need a donation for £100. Hey, I need a donation. But it's better if we had 100 people or maybe 1,000 people doing £3 a month. It's like, oh, they will even notice and they'll fund us to keep on doing the work. But yeah, so if you can't donate Patreon, please donate. Sorry, if you can join the Patreon account, please join. Patreon is important for us. It keeps us active. It keeps us doing what we're doing. It is at patreon.com/Baraka, the Baraka Show. So let me just put it in the chat. Can I get this in the chat? Patreon/the Baraka Show. So it is patreon.com/the Baraka Show. patreon.com/C/the Baraka Show. So if you can join Patreon, that'll mean a lot to us. But thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a blast having you guys on. By the way, we're going to be doing this regular now. So this is, 4 till 6. I think 4 till 6. Yeah, 4 till 6, 2 hours. 4 till 6. We're going to do that every single Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday. I'm either going to be live outside on Saturdays because, of course, I'm going to be out there debating these guys outside, either a lefty or a far-right nationalist, really super far, like the ethno-nats and stuff. The guys who want to deport everyone. So I'm either going to be debating those guys outside, or I'm going to be debating the Antifa lefties or whatever. Whoever's outside, we're going to be going and debating. Or we're just going to talk to people who don't even engage in politics. So I'll be outside on Saturday, but Monday to Friday, I'll be filming, reporting to you guys live. And of course, every month, you're going to get a documentary. Every month. This month, January, no documentary. But 1st of January, January, you're going to get a documentary basically, but it's being made. It's being basically researched as we speak. And it's due, according to, if everything goes well, it's going to come out on 1st of February. And this documentary is about the migrant, rape gangs, I have to say. I wouldn't say rape gang. I'll say the migrant rape cases. We're going to be mapping it in the whole country. So basically, we're going to explain to you how they get into the country, which I think you probably already know. But for the people who will be watching new, it's important for them to know how they get into the country, how they get houses, and all the rape cases that have occurred where they obviously reside. And yeah, we're going to show you that. It's going to be really beautiful, very good animated video where you can watch it. Because I learn based on like pictures and videos. I learn best when I see a picture and I see a video. I remember it. It just sticks. It just gets glued into my mind. So of course, I want to teach you. I can only teach you the way I learn. So that's animating. So we're going to get it animated full on where you can watch it and you'll be like, you feel the work. So if you want to support the work, Patreon is the way. And that's going to come out 1st of February, assuming if everything goes well with the editors. Because right now we're in talk with a guy who's going to be coming in to do our animations for us every month when we do heavy dig investigative journalists where we need to animate stuff. Really good storytelling. I think you guys deserve it. You support me a lot. I think you guys deserve a good work for once. Not just sitting and talking, but really heavy digging for 1 month full on, so then we can report to you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. If you're new to the channel again, if you're new to the channel again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This video will come out tomorrow. I want to play you the intro, then obviously the original outro of the channel will come on after that. But this is the video that's coming out tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Oh, it's not hit. This is Iran, where freedom does not exist, where they shoot people for protesting, they kill women for not wearing a hijab. And this has been going on since 1979. But today, something is happening. The Iranian people are fighting back and they're asking for
King Reza Pahlavi, our latest exiled prince, who is not prince no more, who is our king. King Reza Pahlavi.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh damn. Oh, yo, what the fuck? But as expected, the leftist Antifa turned up and they tried to shut it down.
These guys are killing Iranians in Iran, and these guys are supporting them. Supporting Palestine equal with supporting Hamas. Supporting Hamas equal with supporting IRGC. Now, tell me, who's fucking wrong, huh?
They called the Iranians Nazis. That's what they called
They
them.
called you guys Nazis.
They called them Nazis when they got past. For nothing, because they're celebrating.
Call us anything you want. Call us whatever you want. We are gonna take Iran free from mullahs. Fuck Palestine. Fuck Hamas.
They tried to erase the signal. They pulled the plug, demonetized, censored, shadow banned. That's what they did to us. But the truth, my friend, will always find the frequency. I call this Operation Airwave Liberation because I'm not just back, I'm broadcasting from ruined. But this time, the airwaves is mine. And this time, it's uncensored. I watched them strip everything that we built. No warning, no explanation, silence, just taking everything away. 300 plus videos, deleted, all gone. And if you think this is about community guidelines, you've not been paying attention. This is a war. This is a digital gulag dressed in a terms of service type of way. They want us gone because we're saying things that they don't like. Maybe we're asking questions because we're curious, they don't like the questions we're asking. Or maybe we refuse to play nice in this echo chamber that we're in. They first hit me with the algorithm, the video's not getting enough views. Then they hit me with the monetization, well, no money for you. But guess what? They forgot to hit my will. They thought that'll be enough, it's gonna cave and it's gonna run away. But guess what I did? I rebuilt, I rewired, I learned the game behind the curtains and see how they operate. I'm not just back. We're launching Operation Airwave Liberation. No filters, no masters, just signals. The signal they tried to block, but this time is very strong. The wind can't even penetrate through this. This, my friend, isn't just about me. It's about all of us. Every single voice that's been cancelled, clipped, and used in the wrong way by the media. From now on, moving forward, I'm not just creating content anymore. I'm sorry. I'm building a resistance on camera, off grid, and above the algorithm. And if you are watching this, you are the resistance. This channel isn't just a platform. This is a broadcast tower for the truth. I'm glad I'm back.